Have you ever wondered why your phone's battery seems to drain faster than ever, no matter how careful you are? You leave the house with 100%, but by lunchtime, you're scrambling for a charger. It's extremely annoying, isn't it? And it feels like no matter what tips or tricks you try, closing apps, turning on battery saver, even buying the latest phone, it just keeps happening. The truth is, your battery's rapid decline isn't just bad luck or user error. Sure, apps and settings play a part, but what if the real culprits are hidden in plain sight? Modern phone features, sleek designs, and even those shiny software updates you eagerly download might be working against you. And here's the kicker. It's not entirely accidental. Some of the biggest names in tech have made deliberate decisions that prioritize flashy features and profit margins over something as fundamental as your phone's ability to stay powered when you need it most. But don't worry. This isn't just a rant about bad batteries. We're diving into the deeper story, the one that manufacturers would rather you not think about. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the real reasons your phone dies so quickly, but also discover the surprising ways this problem could be solved if the industry truly wanted to fix it. So stick around, because the answers might change the way you think about your phone forever. And it all starts with what's silently draining your battery right now. Your phone's battery doesn't just drain because you're scrolling endlessly on social media or binge-watching videos. There's a whole world of invisible processes quietly chipping away at your charge, and most of them are running without you even noticing. First off, let's talk about background apps. You may think closing apps will solve the issue, but many of them, like messaging services, location trackers, and system updates, are designed to run in the background no matter what. For instance, that weather app. Yep. It's constantly pulling data to give you real-time updates. Or your navigation app. It's pinging satellites even when you're not navigating. Then there's screen brightness and refresh rates. Modern phones come with ultra-bright, high refresh rate displays that make everything look buttery smooth. But here's the catch. Those advanced screens are energy hogs. Even adaptive brightness, which adjusts to your surroundings, can sometimes overcompensate and drain more power than necessary. And let's not forget 5G connectivity. While it promises faster speeds, it also demands more energy from your phone, especially when the signal is weak. Your phone works harder to maintain a connection, and that extra effort comes at the cost of your battery. So, while you might blame yourself for forgetting to plug in your charger, the truth is, your phone is designed to demand more power than it can sustainably provide. But why? Let's dig deeper. Here's a question you've probably asked yourself. If phones can get faster processors, better cameras, and gorgeous screens every year, why can't batteries keep up? The answer lies in a frustrating reality. The technology behind phone batteries hasn't changed much in decades. Most modern phones still rely on lithium-ion batteries, a technology introduced in the early 1990s. Sure, manufacturers have made incremental improvements in efficiency and safety, but the basic chemistry remains the same. Lithium-ion batteries are limited by their energy density, meaning there's only so much power you can pack into a small space. And we're nearing the physical limits of that capacity. But it's not just about chemistry. The race to make phones thinner and sleeker has created design constraints. A bigger battery would mean a thicker, heavier phone. And for many consumers, that's a deal breaker. Manufacturers prioritize aesthetics over endurance because, frankly, that's what sells. Then there's the issue of planned obsolescence. It's no secret that some companies would rather you upgrade to a new phone every 2 years instead of relying on a long-lasting battery. A weaker battery over time nudges you toward a replacement, whether it's intentional or not. And let's not overlook the cost factor. Developing new battery technologies, like solid-state batteries, requires massive investments in research and production.
Watch it, that stuff is expensive.
For now, companies are playing it safe, sticking with what's available rather than risking expensive experiments. So why does this bottleneck persist? It's partly science, partly marketing, and partly economics. But there's more to this story. It's easy to blame manufacturers and aging hardware for your phone's battery woes, but here's the twist. Your habits play a bigger role than you might think. And it's not just about screen time or forgetting to close apps. There are subtle, everyday choices you make that could be quietly sabotaging your battery life. Let's start with charging habits. Plugging in overnight might seem harmless, but keeping your phone at 100% for extended periods can strain the battery over time. Lithium-ion batteries prefer a mid-range charge, somewhere between 20% and 80%. By pushing it to full every night, you're unwittingly accelerating its wear. Then there's temperature. Ever notice your phone getting hot while gaming or streaming? High heat is kryptonite for batteries, causing them to degrade faster. And if you leave your phone in a cold car overnight or in the blazing sun, extreme temperatures can permanently reduce its capacity. But here's a surprising one. How often do you use fast charging? While it's convenient, those higher wattages generate more heat, speeding up battery wear. Fast charging occasionally is fine, but relying on it every day can have long-term effects. And let's talk about apps. Social media, video streaming, and GPS-heavy apps are battery hogs, but it's how you use them that matters. Brightness cranked up, notifications on for every app. These small choices add up, draining power faster than you realize. Your habits may seem harmless, but over time, they reshape the health of your battery. So why hasn't this been fixed? Simple. The system is designed to work in the manufacturer's favor. For starters, battery life plays a key role in driving new sales. When your phone struggles to last a full day, what's the most convenient solution? Buying a new one. Manufacturers know this, and while they don't sabotage your battery outright, they certainly don't prioritize long-term solutions. Most companies would rather focus on features that immediately attract buyers, like better cameras or sleeker designs, than take the financial risk of overhauling battery tech. Environmental regulations also come into play. Batteries need to meet strict safety standards, and pushing capacity or density increases the risk of overheating and other failures. From a legal and PR perspective, it's safer for companies to stick with tried and tested lithium-ion cells. But perhaps the most frustrating reason is consumer behavior. We demand thinner phones with more features and faster performance. Manufacturers cater to these demands, knowing full well that battery life will suffer. Essentially, we're complicit in the trade-off. So where does that leave us? Stuck with incremental improvements that don't address the core problem, but there's hope. Some innovative solutions are on the horizon. If battery life has been such a persistent issue, surely we must be on the brink of a breakthrough, right? The reality is both promising and frustrating. While the tech world is racing to develop new solutions, many remain intriguingly out of reach, bound by the complex interplay of science, cost, and industry priorities. Take solid-state batteries, often heralded as the holy grail of energy storage. Imagine charging your phone in minutes and getting days of usage on a single charge. Sounds like a dream? It is, for now. Solid-state batteries face massive hurdles in production costs and scalability, keeping them largely confined to experimental stages. Then there's graphene, the so-called miracle material, poised to revolutionize everything from smartphones to electric cars. Graphene batteries promise superior performance and environmental benefits, but despite years of hype, they remain out of reach, held back by difficulties in large-scale production. Meanwhile, software-based power management is trying to fill the gap. AI-driven optimization adjusts your device's performance in real time, eking out a bit more juice when you need it. Yet, these incremental improvements can't solve the underlying issue: the physical limits of lithium-ion technology. But if you think your phone's battery life is bad, wait until you hear about laptops. Why, after years of innovation, are laptop batteries still stuck in the past? Is it just outdated tech, or is something bigger holding them back too? Click on this video to find out more.